Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Free NFL Bets Podcast edition. My name is Eric. If this is your first time listening, watching on YouTube, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to break down every game, side and total, go over all my leans, all that stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Well, actually, one last thing. Follow all my official plays at Twitter at Easy Money Wins. That's where I release all of my official bets. I'm in play on every single game that I'm going to talk about on this podcast, except for the Black Friday game, but I'm probably going to be in play in that game as well. So yeah, let's jump right into it, guys. Let's do it. All right, so first game up, we have the Chicago Bulls at the Detroit Lions. And if you remember last season, Detroit really blew it on Thanksgiving. They were like minus 7-point favorites against the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers were really struggling at that point. So I know Detroit, I know, guys. I mean, you know Dan Campbell, you know how intense he is. Like, they're talking about it every single day leading up to Thanksgiving Day. We're not losing this year. We're not going to blow it. We're going to go out there, we're going to dominate. So we already know that from Detroit. That's the mindset that they're going to have. They're going to be ready to frickin' go. Now, they got some good injury news update. Dan Campbell said that Amon-Ra St. Brown and I believe also David Montgomery are looking more likely that they are going to play this week. Let me see if I got a little bit of update on that. Montgomery was a limited participant today, and then so was St. Brown. So that's really good for the offense. Taylor Decker, he was a non-participant, so he probably won't play. I don't think he played last week against Indianapolis, but that's big time for the offense. And so I do like Detroit to win this game, guys, but I am in play on Chicago plus 10.5. And the reason is simple. It's the offense under the new offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown. They're staying ahead of the sticks. There's less negative plays. Caleb Williams looks like he knows what he's doing again. You know, the morale's high. And if he can score 27 points against the Vikings defense, which I totally think is the best defense in the NFL, and don't get me wrong, Detroit's playing really good right now on defense too. I think they've only allowed like 14 points in like 3 out of the last 4 games. Let's see if that's true or not. Yeah, but that was against Indianapolis, who, well, I mean, okay, I'll give them a little bit of credit. But Indianapolis, I watched that game closely. They missed opportunities in the red zone. They were driving the ball on Detroit, no problem. It's just receivers were dropping touchdowns, and it's like penalties and all that stuff. So Indy could have scored more points there, guys. Jacksonville, that's Mac Jones. He's awful. Jacksonville's a mess. That was a disaster. So, and then they played at Green Bay, and I think that was like Jordan Love coming back from like his knee or groin injury or something like that. So, I don't know, guys. I still think this Detroit defense is a little bit of fool's gold. I don't think they're that legit. And I like Chicago to come in there and play really freaking hard as well. Like, I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a really hard-fought game. And the reason why I also like Chicago is I also, obviously I think that they can move the ball on Detroit's defense, at least well enough not to get blown out. And then say they're down by 17 points in the fourth quarter. I do believe that Chicago's going to go down and score a touchdown out of pride, on a fatigue defense. It's a Thursday game, Thursday afternoon game. Both teams, I don't expect them to be that fresh. And then last thing why I like Chicago is that Chicago secondary has given Jared Goff fits at times, but they've picked him off a lot. So they have confidence against this quarterback. They have confidence against this team. I think the 10.5 is just a little too much, guys. Just a little too much. And it's already down to plus 10, so people did eat up all the plus 10.5s this morning when I released it on Twitter at Easy Money Wins. And the total, I like over 48.5. Now, the over-under, so I write down all the against the spread numbers and over-unders. So the over-under for each team, Chicago's 5-6, so 5 overs and 6 unders. And then sorry, Chicago is 4-7 over under. They have 4 overs and 7 unders. It's Detroit who has 5 overs and 6 unders. So I think that goes over, guys. Again, just because Caleb Williams is moving the ball better. Detroit, we know that they're going to score, and there could be turnovers too. And turnovers create quick scoring opportunities. So I just think both these teams can get into the 20s. And, I mean, Detroit could get to 30, 35. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I do like the over here, over 48.5. I think I'm going to get there. I just want to make sure Amon-Ra St. Brown is ruled in officially before I get there with it. So that's the first game. That's Chicago at Detroit. All right, we got our like appetizers in and everything. You know, now let's go to the turkey meal, right? The Dallas game, the exciting New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm mad at myself, guys. I did not bet the Buccaneers last week against the Giants. I don't know why I didn't, guys. I have no idea why I did not do that because I had it on my short list. I thought about it. I looked at all, and then for some reason, I just kept thinking about Tommy DeVito beating the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football last year and how he looked somewhat good. And I was like, maybe that's in them. Maybe this is a rallying cry. Like, but no, the Giants are a mess. The Giants are messy. Like players talking bad about the coaches nonstop. Like players just talking in general. Like there's rumors already that they're going to fire Dable and Joe Shane or Shine, whatever his name is, the GM. So I want no parts of the Giants. I'm on the Dallas money line at minus 190. The only thing that I'm just a tad bit concerned with is that Tommy DeVito, I need him playing. I don't want Drew Lock playing. If Drew Lock plays, I don't feel as good about this, and I honestly might bet plus 3.5 on the Giants, like just for like one unit, just to buy back some risk and try to middle my Dallas money line, because Tommy DeVito is really, really not good. Okay, Drew Lock, he has some potential. He has a live arm. He is a more of an NFL quarterback for sure than Tommy DeVito. So if Drew Lock does play, it kind of gives me some concerns. I might try to middle back some of my Dallas money line bets. So, but anyways, let's hope Tommy DeVito plays. That secondary for Dallas is 100% healthy, most likely this week. So Trayvon Diggs, if he plays, that secondary for the first time all season will be 100% healthy. So that's great news. And then also Micah Parsons is looking great. He's looking great. He's getting after the quarterback, getting sacks, and I just know that this Dallas defense, they're due for a good game, guys. Like they haven't had a good season, but they're due for a good game. They're going to have one on Thanksgiving, guys. It's going to happen. And the other biggest reason why I love this spot for the Cowboys is they haven't won a home game all year. They literally have not won a home game all season. And every team, every year, wins at least one home game, unless you go 0-17. But that hasn't happened in a while. So Dallas is going to win a home game, all right? This is the one they're going to win. I don't know about the other ones, but this is the one they're going to win, okay? Thanksgiving Day, they got a good momentum off the good win at Washington. Play a little bit more free, play a little bit more relaxed, get after the Giants, dominate and execute. Now, the Cooper Rush situation, he's playing better. He's playing okay, but the Giants' defense is bad. They haven't been able to stop the run consistently, and they've been really bad against the pass. So I like the Cowboys to dominate this one, guys. Don't overthink it. Both teams are 3-8 against the spread, so it's not like Dallas is like way and above, against the spread, and Giants need to get a win against the spread. Like no, perfect. Dallas is 3-8. They're 3-8 against the spread. Dallas is due for an against the spread win. The over under. Dallas is 7-4 to the over, and New York is 3-8 to the under. So over under wise, if Drew Lock plays, I love the over. I'm going to get there with the over for sure if he plays. Tommy DeVito plays, that's tough. That's tough because, I mean, he turned the ball over a lot last game and the game still went under. It was like total of like 39.5 or something, and it landed 37, and Tampa Bay scored 30 points. So, yeah, Drew Lock plays. I like the over because he turns the ball over a lot, and he also pushes the ball down the field. and he also knows how to move the offense. So Dallas, I do like them to execute at a high level. It's a very low total. So yeah, if Drew Lock does play, that'll give me a chance to put some more money on this game that I really like. So all right, we've had our appetizers, we've had our turkeys, maybe a little hard apple cider. Maybe now we move on to the pumpkin pie, right? Pumpkin pie, pecan pie for the Thanksgiving night game. If we're still awake, right? If we're still awake, Miami at Green Bay. Okay, now this is the first outdoor game of the day. It's the only outdoors game, obviously, because Dallas and Detroit plays inside. There are expected to be 15-mile-per-hour winds at Green Bay, and also temperatures in the 20s. So, initially you think, hey, Miami, South Florida, playing in the cold, they're not going to do too well. Well, I mean, it's kind of iffy, right? Because Miami went to Buffalo in January multiple times because that's their divisional opponent, and they played okay there. And they played in the playoffs last year or 2 years ago or something like that, and they lost at Buffalo, but they gave Buffalo a good fight. So Miami's somewhat used to playing in the cold. Now, they lost at Kansas City, and that game was freezing, and they looked awful in that game. So it's kind of hard to tell, like, hey, Miami's proven that they can play well in the cold, but then they've also shown that they don't play well in the cold. So I don't know if that angle necessarily like holds weight. That's not like why I'm betting against Miami. So I am betting Green Bay -3. Let me see what the line's at right now. The line is -3 still. So there's 3.5. So if you like the fish, you take +3.5. If you like the Packers, go Pack, go. You can take -3. So I'm on the -3. It's a 3-unit play for me. I feel really good about it, and the biggest reason for it is, well, first let me say this. So both teams are 5-6 against the spread, even though Green Bay's won a lot. They haven't covered a lot. Green Bay's 5-5 to the over/under, and Miami's 5-6 over/under. So both very equal in terms of ATS record and over/under records. So I mean, you kind of pick whatever you feel like is going to happen in this game, and I trust Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is so underrated. He is just a winner, like straight up. He wins football games. He reminds me of Mike Tomlin so much in the way that he just like leads his team, and it's a very respected organization. Like the way that they just handle their organization. Now, obviously, the way they handled Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, like that's debatable, obviously, but I mean, whatever they're doing, it's working, and they just win. And Matt LaFleur has, like, again, he's won with Aaron Rodgers, he's won with Jordan Love, and even Malik Willis this year. So it doesn't matter, like, who's at quarterback. He's just getting it done, and the team's responding. So I like that. I definitely like that. And they got to keep winning, right? They got to outpace Minnesota, and they have to try to catch Detroit for the division. So Green Bay has to keep winning. They're motivated. Obviously, Miami's motivated too. They're 5-6 now, I think, straight up, and have a chance to catch Denver in the wild card race. So this is a big game for Miami as well. But just historically, Tua has not done well on the road versus very good teams in the NFL. He just has not. It's proven. There's like a 10-game sample size or more at this point where he just does not win these games on the road. He doesn't do it. So, I mean, he did win at Los Angeles against the Rams on Monday Night Football like 3 weeks ago. Okay, I'll give him his flowers there. That was a pretty good win. But before that, the week before that, he lost at Buffalo. And now I know what you're saying. They played well in Buffalo. They did. They did play well in Buffalo. They only lost by 3. But this is, in my opinion, just a different animal. I think the weather does play a little bit of a factor, it being that cold and like that, Canadian air like dropping in. Like I don't know. When I think of Green Bay, I think of it like way more cold than Buffalo. I think it's a different type of cold, in my opinion. So I think that does play a little bit into this. The Tua factor of not being able to win on the road plays into this. and then just trusting Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love to get it done. Pretty much, in terms of injury situation, Romeo Dobbs, I don't think he's going to play, and then Jair Alexander, he has not been playing either. But I'm fine with the backups behind them. I like Valentine, the backup cornerback for the Packers, and then they have Dontavian Wicks, who's very good in that offense as well. So they have plenty of weapons. Green Bay does. Miami, we'll see if Tron Armstead plays and Alec Ingold. They played last week, so they'll probably play. Tyreek Hill will probably play, and then we'll see if Fuller ends up playing the cornerback for Miami. But other than that, I do like Green Bay to get it done, guys. I like them to win here. I like them to win by a little bit of a margin. I think they get it done here for us. Now, over-under-wise, over-under is at 46.5, and I don't know. I kind of lean under because I like the way Miami's defense is playing right now, and then I really like Detroit's defense this year. They've really turned it around their season. Their season in terms of defense. So I don't know if I'm going to get there with it. I don't think I am. I think I'm going to stay off this one. I think the other two previous games, I like the overs in those games. So probably stay off of that over-under. All right, guys. If you made it through the appetizers, the turkey, and the pumpkin pie, go to sleep, wake up. It's Black Friday. And the Black Friday game starts a little early, right? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Kind of an interesting time, right? So Kansas City hosts Las Vegas. Now, I am not officially betting this game yet, but I think that I will be. Kansas City is 5-6 against the spread. Las Vegas is 4-7 against the spread. Over-underwise, Kansas City is 6-5 to the over, and Las Vegas is 8-3 to the over. So I haven't seen an injury report yet for the Chiefs, but I'm pretty sure they're healthy. And Pacheco is definitely going to come back this week. So that's something to keep in mind. He really makes that offense just more efficient, and yeah, in my opinion, he is a difference maker for that offense. And he just gives an energy, too, the way that he runs and everything. A lot of people laugh about it, but, it does give energy to that offense. So, Charles Omenihu, the defensive end, he might play for the Chiefs as well. Still no Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Chiefs. He's still injured. But the backup kicker, Schrader or whatever it is, he did really well. He kicked the game-winning field goal last week. So, no issues there with the kicker, but it is something to try to keep in mind a little bit. Now, for the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell is looking to come off IR, but he still is having trouble with his wrist. Okay, so even Antonio Pierce talked about him gripping the football. Bottom line is, Desmond Ritter's behind him. Desmond Ritter's awful. Aiden O'Connell's not much better. So, if Aiden O'Connell still can't grip the ball 100%, how is he going to be able to throw the ball consistently and well, especially if he gets hit one time, right? So he's a liability to get knocked out of the game. Desmond Ridder comes into the game, it's disaster time. It's disaster. So I can only look Kansas City. It's a high number. It's minus 12.5, but I really do believe Kansas City, even though they already beat the Raiders this year, they lost at home to the Raiders last season. So I think they come out focused. The only thing I'm trying to wrap my head around here is that yes, the Raiders are really bad, but with Kansas City playing on Black Friday, they're going to be home. Their families are going to be in town on Thursday, probably. I don't know how Andy Reid is playing this. Is he just going to have the team in the hotel Thursday to have no distractions? How is he going to handle that? Because the Raiders being on the road, there's no family. They're with themselves. There's team bonding. They're eating their Thanksgiving meal together. Those are all positives in my mind. Kansas City being home with family all surrounding them is two things actually. So it's also kind of a relaxing spot, right? Like being around family, it can be either relaxing or stressful, one of the other ways, depending on the family dynamic. But you know, it could be a little bit you're just a little bit too relaxed. You're not focused enough, or it's just a distraction, which also interrupts your focus. So I don't know. That's just what I'm trying to wrap my head around right here. So I still lean Kansas City minus 12.5 because of the whole like Raiders mocking Patrick Mahomes like in the preseason about Kermit the Frog. Like I know they already beat him this year, but still they lost at home last year too. Like I think they just want to like put the Raiders in their place. So I can only look minus 12.5. That over under is interesting because I could see the Chiefs running up the score, but then I could also see the Raiders not being able to score at all. Like I could see like a 30 38-3 game or something like that, and then this stays under somehow. You know what I'm saying? And then also the Chiefs defense, they gave up a lot of points to the Panthers last week, but you know I think the Raiders offense is worse than the Panthers right now. So with Aiden O'Connell, and I can see the Chiefs defense having a really really nice day on Friday. So I don't know. I mean, the 42.5 feels a little short. If you feel like the Raiders can get anything going, it probably goes over the number, but I kind of lean under a little bit there, just a little bit. So all right, guys, that's the show. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm determined, guys. I'm even on the season, break even on the season, but I am determined to get back into the green and have like a really really amazing strong finish. I do like this week a lot. Um, I feel confident again, and like seeing the board clearly. I think I feel pretty good, guys. I feel pretty good. So if you haven't started betting my plays, I feel like this is a really good time to start betting my plays. I think I'm going to finish the season really strong and end up on the positive like I always do. So follow me again at Twitter at Easy Money Wins, and let's rock it, guys. I'll have the Sunday games and the Monday night game out probably Friday night, most likely Friday night. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, guys, that's it. I appreciate you guys listening to the show, and I'll see you on the next one.